everyone, this is Alternative Revelations with Linda Emmanuel. You are listening to episode 2. This episode is everything you need to know about mycoplasma, the most common cause of cancer and disease. And at the end of this episode, I will list mycoplasma infections. First of all, cancer and disease are infections, whether it be bacterial, fungal, or viral. So you might be asking why you have not heard of mycoplasma. Well, it was discovered in the 1890s, but it has been kept suppressed by the medical industry for over 100 years. And if it wasn't for Donald W. Scott of Canada, I would never have learned about it. It's interesting to point out that in 2003, if you would have Googled mycoplasma, you would have got about 20 results. In 2012, you got about 4 million. Yesterday, May 12, 2019, I Googled the word mycoplasma and I got 8,390,000 results. People know about mycoplasma now, but I don't think they know what kills it. You can research it on Wikipedia, or you can go to my website, www.lindaemmanuel.com, and learn everything about it. Or you can purchase my book on Amazon.com called Alternative Revelations by Linda Emmanuel, 3rd edition. Most people ask, why don't doctors know about this? Why is this being kept suppressed? Folks, it's all about money. The pharmaceuticals are making a killing on drugs and keeping people sick. If the truth would come out that cancer and disease are infections, the medical industry would go out of business or actually collapse. This explains why so many doctors have been murdered over discoveries about curing cancer and disease. The pharmaceuticals want to keep their monopoly on drugs. There are safe ways to get well that kill mycoplasma, which will come out in later episodes. So you might be asking, what is mycoplasma? Mycoplasma is an anaerobic cell wall deficient bacterium. It is the smallest living organism, even smaller than a virus. It can cross the blood-brain barrier. There are over 100 types of mycoplasma. Some attack plants, some attack humans. Some attack the urinary tract, some attack the knees, some go for the brain. Mycoplasma can also attack animals, such as your pets. Dogs and cats can get cancer, usually triggered by a trauma. Dairy cattle get infected in their udders, and that is the bacteria that they are killing in pasteurization. Now I'm going to stop here and tell you a story about a dog. His name was Henry. Now Henry loved to chase horses, and one day he got kicked in the head by a horse. This caused a serious injury. In fact, he almost died. This was definitely a trauma. Fortunately for Henry, he was rushed to the vet and did fully recover. Then, 6 months later, he developed a tumor on his leg. Now, vets don't know about mycoplasma either. They don't know how to treat for mycoplasma. Henry's tumor was removed, and the vet told the owners that he was cancer-free. I knew different. It is in the blood. Even if you take a tumor out, you still have it circulating in the blood. And sure enough, about 9 months later, Henry was dead. Now I have another story about a cat. His name is Merlin. He is still alive. He survived cancer. His owner adopted him from a shelter. Now, being in a shelter is very traumatic for a cat. And when she took him home, a tumor started growing out of his eye socket. She took him to a very prominent ophthalmologist for pets. Another comment here, vets do not know what causes cancer. Now this vet told her, we can take the eyeball out. He doesn't need that eyeball. He's got the other one. But the owner refused. Now the owner knew me personally, and she came to me And I gave her mild silver protein, and I told her to put drops in his eyes, but she also had to put it in Merlin's mouth because it is in the blood and it does circulate. So she did this for 2 weeks, and sure enough, the tumor vanished and Merlin is fine today. He is still alive and happy. Now, mycoplasma is a cell wall deficient bacterium. Since it is cell wall deficient, meaning it does not have a cell wall, antibiotics do not work against it. It is just the DNA strand of a bacterium. It thinks and acts like a bacterium, but it is a total parasite. It needs a host for survival, and it takes from the host what it needs to replicate. In the meantime, breaking down the host's tissues, as in decomposition. But the host is very much alive. Mycoplasma does have a purpose. If the host is dead, it is called decomposition. If the host is alive, it is called cancer or disease. Mycoplasma, again, is the DNA strand of a bacterium. It is encased in a double cell membrane called an endotoxin. The endotoxin is to the immune system like a drop of blood is to the shark. It will cause the immune system to ignite and go into a feeding frenzy. In other words, the host will have a fever, might have chills, might vomit, might have diarrhea, and you may suffer from chronic fatigue, which will be explained in another episode. Mycoplasma is in everyone, even newborn babies who pass through the mother's birth canal. This is why doctors put drops of silver in newborn babies' eyes to kill the bacteria so the baby would not go blind. Now, mycoplasma lie dormant in a degenerative or damaged tissue, waiting for an opportune time to awaken. Mycoplasma attack you where you are genetically weak. It will always take the path of least resistance, attacking damaged tissue also. People who smoke are susceptible to a mycoplasma infection because of damaged lung tissue. Mycoplasma flourish in an acidic environment between 5 and 6.8. The pH scale is measured from 0 to 14, 0 being extremely acidic, 7 being neutral, and 14 extremely alkaline. Human blood must stay alkaline between 7.25 and 7.45. Now your cells are a different matter. They can become acidic and be a perfect environment for mycoplasma. So now you might be asking, what determines your pH? Your pH is determined by minerals. Minerals are either acid minerals or alkaline minerals. And the only source of alkaline minerals are fruits and vegetables. Meat is acidic. That can of diet soda is extremely acidic. Eggs are neutral. Fish is neutral. Chicken is a little bit acidic, but it's less acidic than meat. So when your mitochondria is breaking down your food inside the cell, the alkaline and acid minerals are left as a residual ash, and this is what determines your pH. So again, if you eat more alkaline food, then your tissues will be alkaline. If you eat more acidic food, then your tissues will be acidic and the perfect environment for mycoplasma. I'm going to give you an example how the body neutralizes the blood. First of all, alkaline and acid minerals bind and neutralize each other. Now, it isn't good to be super alkaline and it isn't good to be super acidic. So what the body does, no matter what you eat, if a person drinks a can of diet soda, the body will neutralize that acidity. So it will pull calcium out of your bones and neutralize the blood. So this is why it is so dangerous to drink soda. The body can also be tricked into detoxing those acidic minerals out of the body by eating super alkaline foods, such as baking soda is 8.6 on the pH scale. So when a person takes that baking soda, the body must neutralize. So it has to pull out some acid minerals somewhere. So this usually is taken out of your tissues. I've got a little fact about baking soda. Dr. Simon Cheney uses baking soda to treat cancer. Now, baking soda is 8.6 on the pH scale, and amazingly, mycoplasma die at 8.6. So what awakens a mycoplasma? Mycoplasma monitor 3 things in your body. Number 1, your pH, a sudden change in your pH to acidity. Number 2, your oxygen level. Mycoplasma are anaerobic, meaning they do not flourish in an oxygen environment. Number 3, your immune system, if your immune system is compromised. The most common way mycoplasma wakes up is through a trauma. When your body goes into fight or flight, your body will become acidic. The trauma could be emotional or physical. It could be the loss of a job. It could be the loss of a loved one. It could be a divorce. It could be a fall off a ladder. It could be a car accident. What does concern me is out in California with all these people losing their homes to the fires. This is definitely a trauma when you become homeless. Another example of it awakening is altitude sickness. Think about it as you go up higher and higher up a mountain. Isn't there less oxygen? This is when you might have a mycoplasma flare-up in high altitude. That explains altitude sickness. People might also experience a mycoplasma flare-up on an airplane when the barometric pressure changes. Here's some trivia for you. Rita Hayworth had to be taken off an airplane in a straitjacket. She was experiencing plane rage. After she got off the plane, she was later diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Another interesting trivia is, everybody remembers Rosalind Russell. Rosalind Russell was diagnosed with breast cancer. She was offered a job which was filming in the mountains. After she did the filming, she came down from the mountains and she got rheumatoid arthritis. Same infection, just different place. Mycoplasma cannot live in the body without sugar. How many times have you heard about cancer being fed by sugar? The ketogenic diet is an alternative lifestyle that eliminates sugar from the diet, thus killing mycoplasma. Mycoplasma also needs fat. Its membrane is made of a fat and a sugar. Now, where in the body is the easiest place to find fat? Of course, in the endocrine system, where the body makes hormones. The major component of a hormone is fat. Mycoplasma uptakes the cholesterol, so the body cannot make hormones. A person might get depressed. A person may not be able to sleep. A person may get diabetes or lose their libido. If the mycoplasma is attacking the thyroid directly, it will be called Graves' disease. If it is just uptaking the cholesterol in the thyroid, it is called Hashimoto. Another source of fat for the mycoplasma is the cell wall of a cell. The cell wall is 80% fat. The brain is 75% fat. Mycoplasma also attacks the myelin sheath, which insulates our nerves. People who get carpal tunnel, that is mycoplasma infection. A little comment here. Bacteria build plaque, and one of the procedures in carpal tunnel surgery is the removal of plaque. Researchers have also found plaque in the brains of Alzheimer's. People who have neuropathy, that is nerve damage from mycoplasma. In the case of MS, multiple sclerosis, the mycoplasma is attacking the myelin sheath. In the case of Lou Gehrig's disease, the mycoplasma is actually attacking the degenerative motor neuron. Mycoplasma can attack anywhere in the body. It can attack damaged tissue caused by radiation and also microwave. If awakened, it will also attack tissue that has been damaged by chemical poisoning. I'm going to give you some examples of chemical poisoning that damaged tissue which led to disease. My father's brain cells were damaged from plumber's glue. This is highly toxic. He lost his sense of taste and smell, and then he had a trauma, and he got Parkinson's. The mycoplasma that causes Parkinson's is known as mycoplasma fermentan, and it grows very slow. He lingered for 20 years and died in 2012. Now here's another true story. Michael J. Fox was the Pepsi poster boy. In his biography, he stated he drank 24 cans of Diet Pepsi every day. He ended up with Parkinson's. Aspartame is a neurotoxin. It is very dangerous to drink diet soda. People who drink diet soda are putting their life at risk and raise the possibility of getting Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, MS, and other degenerative nerve diseases. Just like Michael J. Fox and my father, they are poisoning their brain. They may not get Alzheimer's or MS. It just depends where in the brain mycoplasma attacks. Microwave energy is also very dangerous. People who hold cell phones up next to their ear are at risk to develop brain tumors. Now, another threat is the X-ray machines at the airports. These people who work these X-ray machines as we go through the lines to get on planes, they are standing next to high-frequency radiation, and they are also experiencing cancer and disease. So you may be asking, why in the world are we in an epidemic of cancer and disease? The pharmaceuticals would like you to believe it is because we are eating more and more chemicals or a bad diet. But the real truth is, cancer and disease are infections and are spread through the sharing of body fluids with an infected person, whether it be by sex or mouth. I do believe people haven't figured it out because nobody shares the same genetic weaknesses outside of their families. One person may get breast cancer, another person may get diabetes, another person may get Alzheimer's. Mycoplasma is the common denominator. People who ride on airplanes are also being exposed to mycoplasma. Mycoplasma is the smallest living organism and is transmitted through aerosol with the breathing of recycled air. But people should not worry. There are effective ways to kill mycoplasma. In conclusion, we are in an epidemic of cancer and disease. Is there a solution? Yes, there is. Knowledge is the answer. All through the ages, the elite have kept the masses dumbed down. Their biggest fear are educated people. Educate yourself. That is the answer. Mycoplasma can attack anywhere in the body. The following are mycoplasma infections: AIDS, asthma, Alzheimer's, ALS, meaning Lou Gehrig's disease, breast cancer, brain cancer, bipolar depression, chronic fatigue, Crohn's disease, colon cancer, clinical depression, diabetes, endometriosis, fibromyalgia, Graves' disease, Hashimoto, hormonal imbalance, irritable bowel syndrome, carpal tunnel, heart disease, liver cancer, lung cancer, leukemia, lymphoma, lupus, macular degeneration, multiple sclerosis, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, Parkinson's, psoriasis, psoriatic arthritis, prostate cancer, pancreatic cancer, rheumatoid arthritis, scleroderma, schizophrenia, and the list goes on. If you are suffering from a mycoplasma infection, or you just want to learn how to protect yourself from cancer and disease, do not be discouraged. There is hope. You can get well. I got well. If you listen to my first episode, I had lupus, MS, Crohn's, fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, severe depression. You too can get well if you know what to do. So in the meantime, go to my website, www.lindaemmanuel.com, and educate yourself. Knowledge is the beginning of the cure. Until then, good night and God bless.